Flawsome 20 with Lucy. Today we're going to discuss how to rebuild your confidence after experiencing emotional pain or emotional abuse. Emotional pain is related to self-disappointment most of the time, and it could be associated with the feeling of guilt, anger, anguish, pain, panic, just helplessness, and it can frustrate your psychological needs. Emotional pain can affect different parts of our lives, different areas of our life, whether that be through self-infliction, by a significant other, friends, or even the surroundings on the job. The 4 steps of rebuilding your confidence after experiencing emotional pain or abuse is identifying the obstacle. What is stopping me from being a confident person that I dreamt to be? So work on ways to remove this obstacle out of the way because it's stopping you from being confident. Step 3 and 4 coincide together, and that is addressing the obstacle and also choosing to live the life you imagined today. Let's work through our body, mind, and spirit. I felt at times that I was too big or too small. The era I grew up in, there was so much pressure put on us to look a certain way, to act a certain way, especially in high school. I'm sure people are pressured now, but it was pretty bad. So how can I remove this obstacle out of my life? Okay, let's address the obstacle of feeling too big and too small. Okay, was I being body shamed? Am I trying to compare myself to others? Is that why I wasn't as confident? Either way, shame and guilt are common, but it can worsen if you are dealing with this alone, because prolonged feelings of shame and guilt may lead to physical pain to your body, right? Psychological pain can also contribute to worsening that physical pain in your body, such as headaches, dizziness, muscle pain, even nausea, pain in your arms and your legs, stomach aches, or that GI upset. The feeling of sadness, it is a natural emotion. It is a natural emotion that is associated with a loss or disappointment. However, it doesn't fade with time. It might be a treatable condition, such as depression, that can affect your entire body. So practicing mindfulness is a mental practice. It involves focusing on the present moment. You are coping with difficult emotions such as anger, grief, sadness, anxiety. Emotional pain can be seen by being aggressive, violence, alcohol and drug use, attempted suicide, compulsive behaviors like gambling and sex addictions, eating disorders, risky behaviors, self-harm, or suicidal thoughts. Rejection from a significant other or even in your work setting can be a building block towards discouraging thoughts, right? Unexpressed anger, under stress, anger increases the body tension and speeds up your breathing. And you become anxious, and it shows up as being jumpy or the inability to just relax, right? So holistic healing, it addresses the mind, body, soul, and spirit. According to the Bridges Healing Center that's in Minnesota, they use alternative and integrative holistic and traditional forms of pain reducing therapies for their patients, right? I, on the other hand, realized that life is bigger than me. I addressed the obstacle of being a victim of emotional abuse. I was able to identify why I was not confident for such a long time. I was able to address this during plenty of coaching, lots of coaching, hope, and faith. This is how I was able to rid myself of this obstacle of emotional pain and abuse that I experienced at an early age and for such a long time. I identified and I discovered the understanding of why I wasn't so confident about myself. It wasn't necessarily easy to address the pain and abuse. In order to keep my spirit healthy, I had to become a part of a community, to share myself with others and give without expecting anything in return. This process definitely requires love. Love for yourself. It doesn't just only make you be more aware of your emotions, but also learning to accept and let go of the need to control or get rid of these emotions. It's a process. Because on the flip side of things, here are some ways on how emotional abuse or emotional pain may look in someone's life. Okay, the goal of emotional abuser is to undermine another person's feelings of self-worth and independence. You may feel as if there's no way out, or that without that partner, you'll have nothing. Right? Emotional abuse is a form of domestic and family violence. It can occur to anyone at any time, as a child, as a teenager, and even as an adult. Rather, if you feel emotionally abused by your intimate partner or a family member, there are a number of ways to get support. You may begin to feel like you're not good enough. You may begin to feel as if you're not good enough. You may question yourself or your understanding of things, constantly threatening to leave you. Your abuser may be constantly threatening to leave you. Threatening to leave you if you don't say what he says or what she says or acts a certain way. Threatens to hurt you or themselves or others, including your pets, if you leave. Those are ways it shows up. Like emotional abuse may come along with other types of abuse, like sexual abuse, financial abuse, and physical abuse. Prolonged emotional abuse could turn into a physical pain. Because emotional pain, it could lead to physical pain as well. Emotional abuse shows up in several ways. One most common way is verbal. When someone is yelling at you or insulting you or swearing at you, how about rejection? Constantly rejecting your thoughts, your ideas, or opinions. Gaslighting, making you doubt your own feelings or thoughts, or even your sanity by manipulating the truth. Feelings or thoughts, or even your sanity by manipulating the truth. Social abuse, seeking to hurt your other relationships or your reputation. Sharing pictures either online or in person without your permission. Monitoring your activities both in person or online. Put downs, calling you names or telling you that you're stupid. Publicly embarrassing you. Blaming you for everything. Public humiliation. Public humiliation also is a form of social abuse, causing fear, making you feel afraid, intimidated, or threatened. Isolation. limiting your freedom of movement, stopping you from contacting other people. It may also include stopping you from like social activities, sports, school, or work. I have experienced this in my past, such as I'm working on my schoolwork and I'm in trouble for not paying attention to someone else around me. So to me, that was like a power over me because I needed to focus on school or on work. And I felt guilty for doing so because I was being like down talked because I was putting my school and my work, I was making sure I had my stuff done. So it happens, but recognizing that is not the most easiest thing to do. But once you do realize that, let's get rid of that obstacle, right? Emotional abuse also shows up as isolating someone, which overlaps like social abuse as well. Financial abuse, controlling or withholding your money, preventing you from working or studying, stealing from you. Financial abuse is another form of domestic violence, bullying, and intimidation, purposely and repeatedly saying and doing things that are intended to hurt you. Most importantly, emotional pain can cause a significant interference in your daily life. Talk to a doctor or a mental professional like I did. If you do not have a support system, support is important. It is vital to the times of healing and restoring your inner strength of self-worth. Expressing your emotional pain, hurt, and anger to someone who is objective, right? Objective. That can help guide your thoughts. That can help guide your thoughts back to a healthier state of mind. Also, what is going on is important to you. Finish this next sentence. My life would be perfect if. Psychological violence is a part of emotional abuse, and it's covered up by kindness and warmth, which creates emotional confusion. What is emotional abuse? Hypercritical or judgmental towards you, possessive or controlling, manipulative, often dismiss you and your thoughts, ignore boundaries, or invade your privacy. Victims of abuse, rather physical, emotional, or mental, can be victimized by men and women. Abuse is never acceptable. You deserve to feel valued, respected, and safe. As mentioned, emotional abuse shows up as not name calling, insults, extreme jealousy, possessiveness, isolating you from your friends and your family, monitoring where you go, withholding affection as punishment. Regardless of how you are treated, just know that no one is perfect and to embrace your flaws because you are awesome regardless. No one can take that away from you.